G'day mates, in today's video we're going to be talking about Chapter 3 Season 4. It kicks off this weekend and a whole bunch of leaks have come out. In case you don't know what's going on, I'm going to catch you up to date. We have a potential Google Chrome collaboration. We have the Spider-Man Mythic Gauntlet coming back, not the grapple glove, the OG actual Mythic, and we have potential confirmation of a water and sand season. Also, we have the next Fortnite icon skin being announced. It is, of course, SypherPK, and I want to talk about the last tournaments of the season that took place today. We had an insane finish, and unfortunately I have some bad news from some of the big orgs in Fortnite, looking like they're dropping a lot of players, and I want to talk about why. Let's just jump into it. So what is going on with the new season? What leaks do we have, and what are the official posts from Fortnite? So you've probably seen these hands going around. This is the main thing that you've probably seen to do with the new season, and I'll explain what it means because one of these is incredibly important for what's going on with the new season. So on the Epic Games Store, you have Emo Meowscles. Yes, we have an Emo Meowscles skin confirmed. I'll talk about that one in a second. On PlayStation, you have Spider-Gwen. That's the important one. On Nintendo, you have Remix Paradigm, and on Xbox, you have a Chrome hand. Now, you guys know me. I'm not a massive storyline person. I really just focus on the gameplay and what we are getting for the new season. If you guys haven't been following the leaks up until this point, it is mostly focusing around Paradigm. There's a good chance Brie Larson is going to be the voice or going to be the face of Paradigm, a major character in the Fortnite storyline, the same way Dwayne Johnson was the foundation. But what does it mean for the actual gameplay? And this is the one that has people absolutely freaking out. Spider-Gwen. And what is so important about Spider-Gwen? She's a sick skin. It's been teased for a really long time. People have been waiting for her to come out for so long now, but Power hit the nail on the head. Lachlan's org Power made this concept art. This is concept, but it has a lot of people either very excited or very worried. It is the Spider-Man Mythic, but it has been reskinned to look like Gwen's gloves. If we have another collaboration with Spider-Man, which is now confirmed at this point, there is a very good chance we could get Mythics like this back in the game. Now, that is going to be a love or hate relationship. For me, I absolutely love the Spider-Man glove when it first came out. I was zipping around the map, pubs and arena felt so fast and so fun and so fluid. I'm flying up in the air, I'm one pumping kids. The main issue is it's kind of dragged on a little bit in competitive especially. Now there is 2 seasons in a row. Well, we had Chapter 3 Season 2, which was a tiny season, but Chapter 3 Season 1 and Chapter 3 Season 3, the only mobility are these gloves. So right now, basically almost every single week, the person who wins the solo cash cup, or at least the top 5, 3 to 4 of them are using the grapple glove because it is just incredibly busted. When it's the only mobility in the game, it feels a little bit cheesy. You can just get to front side of zone, base up, get to front side of zone, base up. It just doesn't take a lot of skill, and a lot of players are just very bored of that being the meta. So as much as I'm totally down for the Spider-Man gloves to come back into like pubs or arena to just mess around and W key and have fun, I would be less than happy if I open up and see this is the only mobility again in competitive. That being said, when the Shadow Bombs were in the game for the Wild Week and we had another form of mobility, it didn't make the grapple glove feel as broken. So maybe if we get the Spider-Man glove back in the game, but we get other forms of mobility, that could ease off that pain a little bit and a lot of people would be happier. It is absolutely no question that the Spider-Man glove was incredibly fun compared to the current grapple glove. It just moved more fluid. You could shoot quicker, you could build quicker. If this is brought back in the game, I know a lot of people that'll be incredibly happy. So I don't know. Do you think it's just a concept? Do you think Power's onto something? Do you think Epic would bring this back for a 3rd season now? Now, back to the hands. We have had a whole bunch of release skins right now. We have Emo Meowscles, we have Spider-Gwen, we have Paradigm, and we have whatever this skin is. I don't really know what this one is, but a lot of leakers have linked this being one of the skins that went around in surveys to get people's opinion to being the Chrome hand. A lot of people have now said this is going to be 4 of the skins in the Battle Pass, and now we basically know the whole Battle Pass. Some people think it's really lame. Some people really love it. For me, I'm not really a big Battle Pass or cosmetic person these days. Since like late Chapter 1, maybe early Chapter 2, I've kind of just stopped caring about the Battle Pass. I am all about the gameplay. I'm just all about getting in and having fun. Most of the last few seasons, I bought the Battle Pass for the sake of it, but I actually haven't even used it. Like, my stars are there until the very last day. So if this is the Battle Pass, I don't really care too much. I mean, the Spider-Gwen skin looks kind of clean. That is almost definitely going to be a sweat skin, but there wasn't too much to gain about what is going on with the new season from these. We did also have Fortnite game coming out and pretty much confirming that Chrome is going going to be one of the main themes of the new season. Some people even going so far as to believe that Fortnite is doing a sponsored collaboration with Google Chrome. We know Chrome's a feature because we can see this metallic liquid everywhere, but Fortnite Games even made this tweet: it consumes everything, free them, but watch out, you might be next. And if you look at the capitalized letters, it spells Chrome. It's not super hard to figure out. A lot of people figured it out, but what does this Chrome mean? Like, what does it mean? I'm just gonna say a Google Chrome collaboration is just not happening. There is no chance Fortnite has gone that far that we are collaborating with Google Chrome. Yes, we've done basically every superhero and like every pop fiction character in the world, but there's just no way we're getting to just business level collabs. It would be stupid. It would be ridiculous. I have to hope Epic's better than that. But what other themes do we have around this Chrome? So the first leaks that started to come out were all of these kind of like infomercial, real person kind of teasers where they pour a liquid and it turns to chrome. It turns to like a metallic liquid. That doesn't really tell us too much. Some people are now saying that, oh, there's going to be a new like mythic in the new season, or an ability where you go fully metallic and you're immune to damage for a little bit. I don't know. We don't have anything to lean on for what this metal actually means. There's a good chance it could just be like a theme like Midas was. When you were the Midas skin, you picked up weapons, they went solid gold, you dropped them and they were gold. It could just be something like that with the chrome. I think people are looking into it a little bit too much, but it is very clearly a big feature of the season. The other thing that we've kind of seen a constant theme of is these llama O's, which is cereal. Basically, a whole bunch of big creators have been sent llama O's, which is just by Fortnite. It is very clearly not a real brand. And you can see on the box, it looks like there is some kind of like chrome metal that is consuming it. We even have an in-person ad that is going on right now in Times Square in New York. This would not have been cheap. And same thing, it looks like it's some kind of production facility for these llama O's. I don't know why Epic is putting such a fixation on cereal right now, but it's fair to say that pretty much with all of that combined, that is most the leaks we have on the new season. I will talk about Donald Mustard in a second. He's made something a little bit different that's even more exciting. But what is this fixation with cereal? And a lot of people are quite mad. They're like, bro, we have a new season starting in 3 days, and all I know is there's gonna be some metal liquid and cereal. Like, that's not enough for me. Where are the crazy events? Where are the crazy trailers? And I do agree. I love the hype building for a new season. It doesn't feel like a new season starting in a few days. But honestly, I haven't really enjoyed the last few seasons launches. I've just found them getting very, very hyped. Like, remember when we watched the trailer for this season? It was the summer season. We thought it was going to be incredible. And if you enjoyed this season, that is awesome for you. But it was not my favorite season. So if we're doing something different, maybe less hype and less marketing around the season, but then we're going to let the season speak for itself. I'm hoping we launch and the game is just incredible. It feels fresh. We have an entirely new, like maybe not entirely new map, but we have decent map changes, decent weapon changes. The game feels fresh, and that's what brings people back. Maybe Fortnite is finally confident they've hit the nail on the head with a season where they don't have to put all this time and effort into marketing, and instead they've just put it into developing a good game that's going to speak for itself. Maybe I'm just being hopeful here, but I know there's a lot of negativity around the lack of hype for the new season. Maybe that's a good thing. The last major leak we have, and this always comes courtesy of Donald Mustard himself. He always changes his banner profile and his location. Right now, his banner has been changed to this sand image, and then the location is CHRO, which is obviously reference to Chrome. The sand is what has me excited though. This has a lot of people thinking we might have the return of the sand tunneling. They put a lot of effort into sand tunneling, and it really wasn't utilized that much. Chapter 2 Season 5 is the last time we saw it in-game in a major form. You went under the sand, you burrowed, you could then rotate around and jump out. Players could shoot you. It was a bit goofy. It was a bit of fun. But for me, what the sand represents, even if it's not sand tunneling, is hopefully some kind of major map change. If we are going to have the theme of sand and liquid, whether that be liquid chrome, we could be in for a massive map change of like the water season level map change, because water season was the biggest map change we've ever got between seasons. You ended chapter 2 season 2, and then you launched up chapter 2 season 3, and everything was different. Yes, the water started dropping, which made the map go back to what it used to be, which upset a lot of people. But that start of the season, the game felt so incredibly fresh. Not just the map, but the direction of the game and the weapons they implemented. That's the first time we had the charged shotgun added. We had the pump shotgun taken away. A lot of people were really, really upset with that. Well, sorry, the first time we didn't have pumps, we only had charge, and that changed up the game massively. And right now, that's kind of the level of change I want. I want a significant weapon meta change. We've just had 3 seasons that don't don't mind me, basically feel like updates, not new seasons. And whether you've liked that update, that's awesome. Maybe you've loved the meta, you're getting into the no builds, all that hype. But for someone who kind of missed the hype train of no builds, I'm not hating on it, it's just not for me. It's been a little bit stale. I want a big change with this season. And if sand and water is what it's going to take to bring it, fingers crossed. If you guys are looking to get excited for the new season, I'm going to be doing a 24-hour stream starting around midday on Saturday, going all the way into Sunday for the new season. I'm going to be live on twitch.tv/Aussie Antics, watching a whole bunch of old Fortnite moments, having just a good time looking at the leaks and bringing the hype into the new season. So if you want to get excited, swing by my stream. Now, this one is kind of related to the new season because it's obviously going to have a big impact on the start of the season. We have our next icon skin being released, and I'm sure you saw this. It is none other than SypherPK, and the overwhelming response from the community about this was finally. It took long enough for SypherPK to get his icon skin. He was very clearly one of the most deserving people. A lot of people now saying next up is going to be Typical Gamer, Nick30, and I have to agree. We've got some goats who still don't have their skins, but PK getting his is going to be incredibly exciting. And the reason why I'm talking about it as well is because there's almost definitely going to be some kind of tournament or some way to unlock it. SypherPK is one of the content creators that, even if he doesn't do it so much these days with regular building competitive, especially in no builds competitive, he has always had a keen eye on comp scene. So I think there will almost definitely be SypherPK tourneys. I'm going to assume they're going to be no build, but keep an eye out. This could potentially be our first tournament of the new season. The skin is being revealed on Saturday, the day before the new season, this weekend, and then usually the hype builds for the entire week where they announce the skin, they announce tournaments, how you can win the skin, they then get the skin early, and all of that is going to be happening right around the start of the new season. So keep an eye out. I'm sure I'll make a video talking about the SypherPK tourney once it drops because I am that confident we are going to get one. We had our last in-game tournaments of the season. We had the solo cash cup finals today. I would love to show you who finished off on top, show you the leaderboards, but I can't. They're broken. Epic has yet again broken the leaderboards. It is a mess, but I still wanted to cover it. At least on EU and NA East, we had two, in my opinion, pretty underrated players walk away with it. On EU, we had Pixie take out the first place spot, popping off in the last game to end on 144 points, beating out Mustache by 20, who was very close. It did come right down to the wire between Pixie and Mustache. Mustache really picked up the Malibuka torch and showed that he is an absolutely insane player as well. Despite Malibuka getting a lot of the attention from that duo, Pixie played insane. If you haven't heard about Pixie, I'm sure you will. He is a very good player in EU. Over on NA East, we had a crazy finish, not normally the one we've had in the last few cash cups. A lot of the solo cash cups have come right down to the wire. In the last game, all 5 players are alive. Everyone's so close. Who's gonna win it? 1 point in it. It was very different on NA. It did come down to the wire, but it's because all of the top players died. The first 4, the top 4 all died outside of, I think, like top 20, top 30, and right at the very end, we had the French-Canadian Fatch come through and take it in the very last game. I think he got like an 8 or 9 elim game in his very last game to take out the first place spot. He ended on 113 points, only a couple points clear of Cooper, another very underrated player who was doing incredibly well until the end. It was a bit of a weird solo cash cups. Again, the leaderboards were broken. The new season starts in a few days. Everyone was just kind of in like a very meh mood, but I still believe that Fatch and Pixie deserve their attention. They both played really well. I didn't want to make a whole video just for this, but if you're confused what's going on, where did all the tournaments go, because there was like 3 days left of late game arena tournaments. They were all canceled by Fortnite Competitive. They said due to a lack of competitive integrity, because unfortunately they still haven't fixed the game mode to be able to account for placement points properly. So the players who are winning tournaments didn't technically deserve it. You didn't really know who the real winner was, and because of that, they decided it wasn't worth running the tournaments and they canceled all of them. It's sad to see because so far late game arena has been a little bit of a flop. It was very exciting. A lot of people were pumped for it, myself included. Day 1, it felt kind of crazy. The service felt good. It felt interesting. And then it just kind of fizzled out really quickly. There's just been a lot of glitches like around the placement points, the servers, and now the tournaments. It does feel a little bit iffy, but there is one big positive here I wanted to talk about. By making the tweet canceling these, they did confirm they are coming back next season. We are going to have late game arena. We are going to have late game tournaments, and we can hope the game mode does get fixed up a little bit. A lot of people hoping it's going to be taken out of creative and it's going to go into the regular game, but at the moment there's been no signs of Epic saying they're going to change that. But again, that could be one of the main reasons why placement points aren't counting. So maybe late game arena goes back to being in game the way that the Booga arena was. I don't know, but I wanted to let you guys know. I'm sorry I'm a few days late on this. I just really couldn't make an entire video on just a tournament being canceled. In Fortnite Org news, it's not looking too good. NA East Comp Report summed it up best. He said, Dignitas just let go of Dukes, PSG TNA has let go of most of the original roster, and Elite just let go of their 2 longest tenured members. What is happening? Now, again, these players aren't getting dropped. I hate when people say that wrong. Dropped would mean you get let go because there's been a major issue. Maybe you've broken some rules, you cheated, something like that. This is just players who their contracts aren't being continued. Their contracts expired, and the org or the player has decided they don't want to re-sign. We don't know if in these instances whether it was the player or the org, but it is safe to say that a lot of orgs are starting to pull out of Fortnite, or at least not continuing a lot of their contracts. The main reason is just profitability. While Fortnite does not support orgs, there's not in-game cosmetics, there's not in-game tournaments, there's no real way to make their money out of it. Dukes being the biggest example. Dignitas only signed Dukes, it feels like half a year ago. They've still got Miro and Pgot on their roster, so I'm guessing maybe, Miro's notoriety, despite not making content, he's still placing incredibly highly, despite the fact that Dukes came 4th. I guess maybe that's not good enough. A lot of people are rumoring that maybe potentially Dukes didn't want to re-sign with Dignitas because he's actually looking to join NRG, which has happened quite often in the past. If you play with clicks, you get signed to NRG. That's kind of the meme going around at the moment. I will promise on everything. I don't know. Obviously, me being an NRG, people always assume they just tell me everything about who they're signing. I have genuinely no clue whether Dukes would be joining or not, so I am just as clueless as you. It sounds like it might make sense, but it's interesting there's been no word on Miro or Pgod's contracts, so maybe they were on longer contracts. If they did re-sign, I imagine they'd want to make that an announcement, so don't really know what's going on there, but either way, it's safe to say things aren't looking the best. I really hope next season picks things up a bit. You know the deal. If you made it this far, chuck a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one.